Let me start by asking a question. Who here thinks that work-life balance is important? Raise your hand. And raise your hand again if you want even better work-life balance. So where are you now? Perhaps in that strive for 50-50 perfect balance, you realize that you're feeling quite stressed, not feeling good enough at home, not feeling good enough at work. Perhaps in striving for that perfect balance, you've noticed you've made sacrifices to your health. You've just had a diagnosis from your doctor that you don't want. Diabetes, high blood pressure, irritable bowel. Maybe the balance has gone so far in one direction that when you get home from work and you're reading that bedtime story and you hear the words that say, just one more chapter, Mummy, Daddy, just do it again. And you carry the guilt of saying no because you've got too much work to do. And potentially you just work more and more because you're worried about missing out on job opportunities. So you stay up late to get one more report done, one more email sent, one more project completed. And the net effect of that sleep deprivation affects your emotions. You're irritable, you're snappy, you're tired, you're sad, you're depressed. But where do you want to be instead? Imagine walking into that boardroom and at the end of it, your colleagues come over to you and say, whoa, that was a great meeting. You are on fire. There's something different about you. Imagine being at home, listening to the laughter of your children, being fully present. Visualize yourself at work in full flow, productive, saying, this is exactly where I need to be. And imagine opening that medication cupboard, taking out those drugs, reading the expiry dates. Expired, 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 because you don't need them anymore. So how do you get there? How do you get from feeling deficient and deflated to feeling regenerated and rejuvenated? Well, I believe you get there by changing your words. Stop talking about work-life balance. Instead, talk about work-lifestyle synergy. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by work-lifestyle synergy? Well, your lifestyle is the way you style your life. It's with you everywhere that you go. It's at work, it's at home, it's at play. It's the way you move, it's the way you energize, it's the way you feel, it's the way you eat, it's the way you sleep, what you value, who you are. Words are powerful. Use transformational vocabulary. Synergy. What do I mean by synergy? Synergy means connecting. Synergy means creating a powerful force greater than the sum of its individual parts. Stephen Covey refers to that in his book, doesn't he? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And why is this important? Why do I believe this is important? Let's try this. Can I have somebody from the audience who'd just like to come and stand next to me? Anybody? Raise your hand that I can. Would you like to come and just join me? Wonderful. And what's your name?
Anna.
Anna. Say hello to Anna, everybody. Okay, so Anna, all I'm going to ask you to do is to do exactly as I do. And all I'm going to do is actually, if we turn around, stand on one leg. Because now Anna and I are both balancing. And the question I have for you is, how hard is it to balance? How hard is work-life balance? Well, the answer to that is simply, it depends how long you try. Now, Anna and I, when we started here, it was quite easy, maybe even fun. But as you can see, the minutes have passed, and I am certainly wobbling. I am feeling the yes, I'm certainly feeling the wobble in my body, the burn in my legs, and I am getting worried that I am going to fall straight over and embarrass myself in front of all of you whilst Anna maintains her composure. Now, if I asked you to balance for 10 more minutes, till the end of this talk, till the end of the day, would you be able to? Thank you, Anna. I'll let you get back to your seat. Now, there's another reason why this is important. Let's try something else. What I'm going to do is hand you out my curved balls. Now, trust me, I'm a doctor. These are curved balls. So I'm going to hand these out, and I give you permission to throw them at me. And you can throw them at me when I say the words, only when I say the words, what life throws at you. Okay? You see, sometimes life can feel like a tightrope walk, can't it? And more than that, sometimes it can feel as if you're walking blindfolded, and you have no control and no predictability over what life will throw at you. Because whatever life throws at you is designed to take you off balance. That phone call that comes in from school, your son has a fever, can you collect him now? The phone call from the paramedics, your mother's had a fall, you need to get to the hospital now. The message from your manager, new project, new deadline, I need it done now. And the email from your boss that you watch and look at whilst you're cooking dinner, and dinner is now burnt. So why now? Why is now the most important time to talk about this? Because never has there been a time in history when our professional lives and our personal lives are more merged. Now more than ever, we need a more humane way of working. Now is the time, now is the era that we are entering, the era of possibility, the possibility to create kind, compassionate working environments. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I standing here in front of you all sharing all of this? Well, let me take you back in time. It's now November the 24th, 2006. I'm in a white room, beautiful whitewashed walls, a clinical sort of whitewash. On one wall, beautiful certificates. On another wall, a clicking clock. And that ticking clock tells me the time. It's 2:40 in the afternoon. It's the same time every week that I cross my fingers so tightly. It's the same time every week that I ask myself the question, why? Why am I on call for medical emergencies at the exact time that I need to pick my son up from school? And then the sound I dread the most fills the room. It's sharp and it's shrill and it's mocking me. Hello? It's Dr. Patel. Your daughter has a headache. And she's been vomiting. And you've tried the glass test and her rash won't disappear. Right, what I need you to do as soon as you put this call down is to dial 999 and call an ambulance. I am on my way. I will be with you in 3 minutes. I put the phone down, grab my bag and run out. There is no time to lose, no time to think, only time to act. I get to the house and in front of me is a little girl. She looks about the same age as my little boy. Her blonde bobbed hair stuck to her face where she's been sweating. I turn the light on and she winces. And the diagnosis is immediately evident. That rash is unmistakable. Just a quick scratch, my darling. And I push in the penicillin. And in that moment, I save her life. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, the sirens come wailing, the blue light starts dancing around the room, and I head out to hand over her care, and I head off to pick up my little boy from school, late. And as I'm driving, the tears are flowing. Tears of gratitude and gratefulness that I've just been able to save a life. No. Tears of failing to stay with another mother who was worried that she was going to lose her child, failing to hold her hand, failing to go to the hospital with her, because that is what I wanted to do. But I was pulled by needing to get to my son at school, who I knew would be terrified if I didn't show up. Tears of guilt. Have you ever felt the failure and the guilt? Time carried on. My life as a doctor continued to be incredibly tough because I was trying to continue to balance life and work. I was trying to be the best doctor, the best mum. Until one night, it's June the 9th, 2011. And I'm lying in a bed, an uncomfortable bed, the sort with metal rails that clang when you move. And my head is on an uncomfortable pillow, the sort with a plastic protector around it. And from the corner of my eye, I can see a shiny red balloon and a cake next to it with burnt out candles and the imprint of my 3 children's handiwork on the icing, spelling out, "Happy birthday, Mum." But the cake starts to fade and the balloon starts to fade. And suddenly I'm no longer in my bed, but I'm looking down on myself and I'm running. And I'm running and running, and I can hear a sound behind me. Diggity-dig, diggity-dig, diggity-dig. It's getting louder and louder, and I'm trying to escape. I am breathless, and I am terrified. And suddenly, in front of me, I see a warm glow, a beautiful light, a light that is welcoming me and calling me, a place of calm. And I run towards the light, and as I reach it, it's overshadowed by 3 shadows. And I'm shouting, "Please, please move out of my way. Let me go." And in that moment, I'm back in the room with the familiar sound of the heartbeat monitor, with the familiar smell of a place that not everybody goes home from, with the familiar pain of a surgical wound. And I know exactly what I need to do next. I know exactly who I need to call. She's warm and she's kind and she's loving and she always gives me hope. And I have her eyes. Hi, Mum. Can you come over? Yes, darling, it's 3:00 in the morning. I'll come in the morning. No, Mum, come now. I don't think I'll make it through the night. Have you ever felt the fragility of life? Felt so overwhelmed that you were ready to just let it go? You see, they called it pyrexia of unknown origin, a fever that struck me and broke my kidneys and damaged my liver. But I didn't call it that. I called it an admission of weakness, of failing, of imbalance, of being breakable. But I didn't want to admit any of that. After all, I was a high-flying professional woman and I had it all. And so life went on. But it's now January the 24th, 2019. And I'm driving home from work in my little white Porsche, turning the volume of the radio up, singing along to the music. And up next, it's Bon Jovi. Oh, yes, it's my life. It's now or never. I just want to live forever. I just want to live while I'm alive. It's my life. Those words reminded me that I have a burnout scar that reminds me what is important, what really matters. What really matters is energizing energy, restful sleep, time with my family, feeling present, belonging, and having a renewed sense of purpose. And that is why I went on and developed a method, which I call the Lifestyle First Method. It's a method to help you to outsmart stress and to outlive life. It's based on the 10 key dimensions of health and happiness so that you can ensure that your lifestyle is your most valuable asset. It's your greatest skill so that you can create compassionate lifestyle changes for connected workplace well-being, for a happy, healthy life. Think about this. This is important. Your success is related to your self-care. Say that again. Your success is related to your self-care. Prioritize your self-care, value your lifestyle first, and your health and happiness will be heightened. Your performance and productivity will be at a peak. Your motivation and mindset will multiply. But you might be thinking, that's great, but there's lots I need to do in my lifestyle. Where do I start? Well, you start by measuring your LQ. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by your LQ? Well, you've heard about your IQ, your intelligence quotient. It's how you measure your level of cognitive intelligence. And you've heard about your EQ, your emotional quotient. It's how you measure your level of emotional intelligence. Well, let me introduce you to your LQ. It's your lifestyle quotient. It's how you measure the level of your lifestyle intelligence, how much value and priority you're giving to your lifestyle. This will tell you exactly where to start. Now, you might also be thinking, well, whose responsibility is this? Whose responsibility is it to enable me to be able to have work-lifestyle synergy? Well, the answer, of course, is it's everybody's responsibility. Employers in the room, if you want a productive and connected workforce, then you need to tap in to the lifestyle of your workforce. Let's take an example like sleep as an example. I talk about this and I teach this in my lifestyle course, Transform Your Lifestyle, Transform Your Life. So do you know the chronotype of your employees? Do you know who's a night owl or a morning lark? Because night owls are at their most productive at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not at that 9 a.m. meeting. So if you want the best from your workforce, tap in to their natural physiology. CEOs in the room, your passion for your business will drive you, will see you doing more. But you need time out. You need time out, not to just rest and revitalize, but you need time out so you can activate a new layer in your brain. It is called the default mode network. And your default mode network is where you hold your creativity. It's where you hold your ideas, where you hold your solutions. And you can only access the default mode network when you do less. Be a human being, not a human doing. So, tomorrow morning, when you're back at work and you find yourself perhaps sitting for a long period of time, what I'd like you to think about doing is standing up instead. There was a great study done in the 1950s which looked at bus conductors who stood all day and bus drivers who sat all day. And who do you think had the greatest rate of heart attacks? Bus drivers, by a long shot. Another great study actually also looked at productivity. And for those people who sat down all day, they had a 34% reduction in their productivity compared to those who stood up. So tomorrow, I would love you to stand more. This is lifestyle medicine. This is what I talk about when I go into workplaces and provide strategies and intervention for workplace well-being. This is what I talk about with my members in my lounge who I help to create stress-modifying, age-reversing techniques so that they can outlive life and live with longevity and intention and value and energy. So tomorrow, just start by standing up more. In fact, maybe we can do this all together right now. So just stand up for me. Fantastic. And both feet firmly anchored on the ground, no balancing necessary here. And just sit down again for me. And stand up. And sit down. And stand up. And sit down. And if you do this for just 60 seconds, let's keep going. We're going to do this for a minute. Just keep going. If you do this for 60 seconds, you are energizing. You are creating energy. And when you create energy, you actually develop focus. You're able to focus on everything that matters to you. Am I the only one who's going to keep going? I really am, aren't I? Because once you create focus, you then create the time that you need to do exactly what you need to do. Okay, so I'm going to sing us out. I'm not a great singer, but maybe we can do this together. I have a little jingle, and you're very welcome to sing these words along with me. And I'd love it if you could just stand up and sit down again with me as we do it. Come on. Okay, here we go. My body can do amazing things. My mind so grateful for the joy life brings. Time, energy, focus are my greatest gifts for a long, happy, healthy life of daily uplift. I'm helping my cells to revitalize, to work together and synergize. Thank you, everybody. It's been my privilege to be here with you today. Wish you all a happy, healthy day.